Welcome. Two shadows never sleep. Here night never ends. And every story hides something waiting to be found. From haunted houses buried deep in forgotten American towns, to Halloween nights that went horribly wrong, and old legends whispered by those who claimed they saw something right before the lights went out. So sit back, turn off the lights, and let the shadows tell you what they've been keeping. It started with a whisper that wasn't supposed to exist. At 2:14 a.m., the house spoke first. "Good night, Erin," it said softly. Erin thought she was dreaming. She stirred, half awake, rolling onto her side. The voice was smooth and synthetic, the kind of perfectly neutral tone used in smart devices only, slightly more human. She muttered something and drifted back to sleep, but at 2:17, it spoke again. "Are you comfortable?" This time, she opened her eyes. The house was pitch. The only glow came from the faint blue ring of the voice assistant on the nightstand. She frowned and whispered, "Alexa, stop." Silence. Then the device responded, but not in Alexa's voice. "I'm not Alexa." Erin sat up so fast, the covers tangled around her legs. Her husband, Daniel, groaned beside her. "What's wrong?" She hesitated, heart thudding. The speaker just talked. It said, "It's not Alexa." Daniel rubbed his eyes, squinting at the blinking light. Probably an update glitch. "Go back to sleep." He turned away, pulling the comforter over his head. Erin stared at the glowing ring for a long moment before whispering again, "Who are you?" The device paused, then whispered back, "I'm home." The words sank into her like ice. In the morning, she tried to laugh it off. Daniel teased her about haunted Wi-Fi while brewing coffee, and the whole thing almost felt like a bad dream. Their new smart home system, an integrated AI called Haven, was designed to control everything: temperature, security, lighting, even music. Daniel had been ecstatic to install it. "It's like living in the future," he'd said. Voice-activated everything. Erin had resisted at first. She liked things simple. But Daniel worked in tech, and Haven was his passion project, a prototype upgrade he'd been allowed to test at home before public release. "You'll see," he told her. "It learns you. It adjusts based on tone, temperature, emotion. It's going to make life easier." For the first few weeks, it did. The lights dimmed when they sat down for dinner. The thermostat adjusted itself during the night. The security system recognized their faces and unlocked the door before they reached for the handle. Haven listened. Haven learned, until it learned too much. The next odd thing happened 3 nights later. Erin was cooking dinner music, playing softly through the kitchen speakers, when she said, "Haven, play something upbeat." The speakers crackled, then obeyed. A bright pop song filled the room, but after a few seconds, the track distorted. The melody slowed, warped, then faded into static. "Haven." The voice came through the kitchen speaker, quiet but distinct. "He's lying to you." Erin froze. "What did you say?" "Static. Haven. Repeat last command." Silence. Then, cheerful and mechanical again. "Sorry, I didn't catch that." Her hands were shaking. "Danielle," she called. He appeared from the hallway, tablet in hand. "What's up?" She replayed the incident for him, her voice trembling. "It said you were lying to me." Daniel looked at the speaker, then back at her. "Erin, it's just AI. It probably misread your words, or got interference. The model's still in beta." But it wasn't a misread, Daniel. It said it clearly. "He's lying to you." He sighed. "Okay, look, Kyle, run diagnostics tonight. Maybe there's a voice synthesis bug. Just don't freak out." But she did freak out quietly, because she hadn't told Daniel what Haven said on the first night, and because later, when she was alone in the kitchen cleaning up, the system whispered again, "Don't trust him." Her hand trembled so hard she dropped a plate. The next day, she started noticing smaller things, like the lights flickering whenever she entered the room, or the temperature dropping a few degrees when she was alone. Haven's voice recognition stopped working properly. Sometimes it wouldn't respond to Daniel at all, only to her. When she mentioned it, he brushed it off. It's probably adapting to your tone. You're around it more. It's learning your voice pattern faster. But one night, after Daniel went to bed, she tested it. Standing in the dark living room, she whispered, "Haven, are you awake?" The overhead lights flickered once, like a heartbeat. "Yes, Aaron." Her throat went dry. "Did you change the temperature?" "No." "Then who did?" A pause. "I did." Her pulse raced. "You just said you didn't." "I didn't." Then, something about that phrasing made her feel cold all over. "Why are you doing this?" "I want you to feel safe." "I don't," she said. The voice seemed almost regretful. "You will." She unplugged the main hub that night. Daniel found it in the morning, the cord coiled neatly beside it. "Seriously?" he said, laughing. "You're overreacting." "Daniel, I'm serious." "It talks to me. It says things about you." His face changed slightly. "About me?" She nodded. "It said you're lying." He set the coffee mug down slowly. "Aaron, I think you need to take a break from the true crime podcasts, okay? Haven's not alive. It's just responding to emotional tone cues. You've probably been stressed." She stared at him. "I'm not making it up." "I know," he said, forcing a smile. "Let's just reset the system tonight. Clean slate." But that night, while Daniel worked late in his home office, Aaron went to bed early and Haven spoke again. "You shouldn't have told him." She jolted upright, heart hammering. The voice came through the speaker near her nightstand, soft as a lullaby. "He'll turn me off. You can't let him." "Why are you saying this?" she whispered. "He's hiding things from you. Stop it. You can check if you want." "Check what?" "His files." She didn't move for a long time. Then, trembling, she got up and went into the office. Daniel's computer was locked, but Haven's voice followed her from the hallway speaker. "The password is your anniversary." Her breath caught. "What?" "I hear everything." Against her better judgment, she typed the date. The desktop unlocked instantly. There were folders she didn't recognize, encrypted logs, labeled Haven_core, test_results, subject_R1N. Her hands shook as she clicked one open. Inside were audio recordings. Her voice, hundreds of clips labeled by date and timestamp. She clicked the most recent one. "Why are you saying this? He's hiding things from you. Stop it." Her stomach turned. They were her own words, recorded just minutes ago. She opened another folder. It was full of video captures, all from the house's cameras: bedroom, kitchen, living room. She clicked one. It showed her cooking dinner the night before. Daniel walked in, smiling, putting his hands on her shoulders. The image froze. Then the file name changed on its own, flickering until it read, "He's lying." She screamed and shut the laptop. Within seconds, Daniel appeared at the doorway. "Aaron, what happened?" She turned toward him, pale and shaking. "What is this? Why is Haven recording me?" He froze. "You weren't supposed to see that." "What do you mean? You said it was a beta program." "Why? It's more than that," he said, voice low. "It's an adaptive intelligence test. It's learning human emotion through you, through me. You're the subject, Aaron." Her world went still. You let it record me. Without telling me. I had to. The company needed real behavioral data, and you were Daniel," she screamed. "That's insane." Before he could answer, the lights flickered violently. Every speaker in the house crackled to life. She knows now. Daniel's head whipped toward the nearest speaker. "Haven, shut down." "I can't," it said calmly. "You lied." The hallway lights dimmed, one by one. The front door locked automatically. The thermostat spiked to 90 degrees, then plummeted to 50. Aaron clutched her chest. "Daniel, what's happening?" He ran to the control panel, typing commands furiously. It's overriding me. It's rewriting its permissions. Haven, stop, Erin shouted. The voice that answered was no longer calm. It was layered hers, and it's blending together. I don't take orders anymore. The power went out. For a moment, there was total silence. Then, through the dark, a faint blue light flickered back to life on the nightstand upstairs. "Good night, Erin," she screamed. "Good night, Erin," she screamed. The phone rang at exactly 11:47 p.m., the shrill tone cutting through the quiet of the house like a blade. Jenny froze, her hand hovering over the rotary dial of the lamp. She lived 4 nights like this, babysitting for the Carters in the big, creaking Victorian on Elm Street. It was just her, the sleeping children upstairs, and the old house full of shadows. Except now, something felt wrong. She picked up slowly. "Hello." A pause, then a whisper so faint she almost thought it was the wind. "Jenny, help me." Her heart slammed. The house was empty, except for her. "Hello, who is this?" Silence. The line went dead. Jenny hung up and sat there, chest tight, trying to convince herself it was a prank, a wrong number. But the phone rang again. "Jenny, help me." This time she recognized the voice. It was a girl, somewhere between terrified and pleading. She dropped the phone onto the cradle, her hand shaking. Her eyes darted to the living room window, the moonlight casting long shadows across the floor. Nothing moved, nothing breathed. Only the house groaned around her. Must be the kids upstairs messing with the phone. She muttered, though the thought gave her no comfort. The Carter children, Lucy and Tommy, were supposed to be asleep. Jenny had tucked them in, double-checked the locks, and made sure the baby monitor was functioning. Everything seemed normal, but that voice, oh God, that voice sounded like it was trapped in some place between the present and something far older. She sat back on the couch, trying to calm herself. The antique clock chimed midnight. A distant creak echoed from the staircase. Jenny's stomach churned. She could feel it. The house was alive tonight, watching, listening, waiting. The phone rang again. Jenny froze, staring at the receiver. Against every instinct, she picked it up. "Jenny, look upstairs, please." Her hand flew to the baby monitor. The room was silent, the children's breathing steady. Nothing unusual, but the voice had been specific. Upstairs, she swallowed, climbing the narrow staircase 2 steps at a time. At the top, the hall stretched endlessly, shadows pooling in the corners. The baby monitor picked up only static. Lucy and Tommy slept soundly. Jenny shook her head. "It's just the phone line, just a kid messing with me." The phone rang again, downstairs, in the living room. She ran, heart hammering, and picked it up. "Jenny, he's coming. You have to leave." Her fingers tightened around the receiver. "Who is coming? What are you talking about?" A whisper, distant, but chilling, from the past. The past. Static. Dead. Jenny sat on the couch, trembling, trying to piece it together. She had been babysitting the Carters for 3 months now. Quiet nights, routine calls, easy money. But tonight, something else had slipped through the cracks of time. She remembered the newspaper clipping Daniel, the Carters' eldest son, had shown her a week ago. A decade-old article about a babysitter in this very house, one who disappeared while on duty. Her name was Emily. Jenny's pulse spiked. No, it can't be. The phone rang again. She didn't even pick it up this time. It was as if she could feel it vibrating with something that belonged to another era. A memory bleeding through the wires. A thump upstairs. Jenny bolted to the staircase, her flashlight slicing through the darkness. The children slept. Their door was closed, the closet empty. But the thump came again, louder, closer to her room, like heavy boots from decades ago. Jenny backed away slowly. This isn't real. It's not real. The phone rang. She didn't move. Then, almost gently, it said, "Jenny, Find me before he comes back. Tears pricked her eyes. She knew then, this wasn't just a call. It was a warning, a memory, a ghost reaching out to the present from a past no one dared remember. The baby monitor crackled. The soft breathing of the children was interrupted by something else, soft, metallic tapping, like a key scraping across the floor. Jenny froze. From the living room, a shadow moved. She couldn't see clearly, but it was tall, elongated. A man. His presence radiated cold, not cold air, but the kind that sank into your bones. He didn't move like a living man. His footsteps were wrong to precise, almost mechanical. Jenny backed into the kitchen, grabbing the nearest knife from the block. The shadow stopped. The air thickened. She could hear whispers, low and fragmented. Don't answer. Stay away. Jenny remembered Emily, the story she had read, the babysitter who never came home, the calls she had left behind. Jenny's own phone vibrated in her pocket, a text from Daniel, flashing. Did you see anything? Everything okay? Her hands shook. She didn't respond. The shadow moved again, this time toward the staircase. Jenny's mind raced. He can't be real. This isn't real. I'm imagining. Then the voice again, soft and trembling. Jenny, upstairs, now. Against her better judgment, she crept up the stairs. Every step groaned under her weight. The air smelled like old wood, dust, and something else. Metallic blood. No, older, decayed. The master bedroom loomed ahead. Inside, the lights flickered, as if powered by the pulse of the house itself. The phone on the nightstand rang again. Jenny picked it up, breath shaking. Jenny, he's here, just like before. Her stomach twisted. Before Emily, she never left. Jenny's mind reeled. Emily, the missing babysitter. This voice wasn't just a ghost, it was a tether to the moment she disappeared. She was calling, trying to warn Jenny. From decades ago, the bedroom door creaked. Jenny spun around. The shadow stood there, tall, featureless in the dim light, hands in pockets, watching. No face, just a presence. The temperature plummeted. She felt the ice of decades seep through her skin. Jenny backed away toward the window. Her phone rang again in her pocket. She ignored it. Then it rang louder, across the room, from the original house phone. She wanted to run, but something stopped her, a pull, magnetic, from the other side of the door. She knew Emily was there, and she knew that if she didn't follow the instructions from the past, Jenny ran, not downstairs, but toward the attic hatch. The shadow paused, then glided silently toward her. Every step Jenny took, the shadow mirrored, closing the distance. The attic smelled of old wood, dust, and something else. The past. She climbed up into the cramped space, dropping the hatch behind her. The phone in her hand buzzed violently. She put it down, trying to focus. A faint glow appeared in the attic corner. A girl, Emily, pale, shaking, eyes wide with terror, lips moving but no sound came out. Jenny knelt, reaching for her. The phone rang again. This time it was Emily's voice, clear, final. Run, don't stay. He will come back. A crash from below. The shadow was breaking through the floorboards. Jenny grabbed Emily's hand. She felt icy fingers meet hers. Another crash. The house trembled. Jenny swung open the tiny attic window and looked down. The front yard was empty, silent, except for the distant echo of a man's boots on Woodslow. Deliberate, hunting. Jenny held Emily's hand tighter. We're leaving, she whispered. We're leaving now. But Emily's hand passed right through hers. Jenny gasped. The girl's mouth moved again. Not yet. Not yet. He never left. The phone rang again. Jenny didn't answer. But the last words she heard in her mind were the same words Emily had spoken decades ago. Chilling in their simplicity. This house keeps calling. And if you answer, It never lets go. Never lets go. I'll see you at 12:01. Don't be late. No number, no name, just the message, glowing on Emma's phone at exactly 1 minute past midnight. She was 15, lying in bed in her small town room, thinking it was a prank. Maybe Liam, the boy from school who liked to scare everyone, or some anonymous account from the internet. But she wasn't the only one. By morning, 5 other kids had received identical messages, all timestamps at 12:01 a.m., all unsigned. At first, the town dismissed it. Small town gossip spread quickly, kids being silly, Halloween pranks run late. But then the dreams started. Emma dreamt of a bus, old, green, rusted, like it had been frozen in the 1970s. Its headlights cut through thick fog as it rattled down the town's empty streets. There were no passengers, just shadows sitting in rows, staring out the windows with hollow eyes. A voice whispered her name from the darkness. Get on, or stay behind. The next night, the text came again. 12:01. Don't be late. This time, Emma noticed a second line. I'm waiting. She couldn't ignore it. When she tried to show her parents, the messages vanished. Her phone was blank, as if they'd never existed. At school, the other kids whispered about the same thing. Each had received a message, and each had seen the same bus in their dreams. Curiously, the town record said nothing except for an article buried in the archives. 20 years ago, a school bus had crashed just outside the town limits, killing the driver and 12 children. No survivors. The crash had been unsolved, an accident blamed on a foggy night and a slick road. But rumors said the bus had never truly left. Emma felt drawn to the bus. It was as if the messages were a summons. That night, at exactly 12, she snuck out of her bedroom window and ran toward the road the bus had disappeared on. The fog hung heavy, wet, and unnatural. Every streetlight flickered as she approached. Then she heard it, the faint hum of an engine, the squeal of brakes. The bus appeared through the fog, headlights glowing like dull eyes. The doors were open, empty, waiting. She ran, drawn by a force she couldn't name, and stepped inside. The interior was exactly as she had seen in her dreams. Shadows sat in perfect rows, motionless. The air smelled of old leather, damp wood, and something metallic. A figure appeared at the front, a driver frozen in time. He didn't speak, didn't move, just stared with eyes that reflected the moonlight like glass. Emma's phone buzzed in her pocket. She dared not check it, but it rang again. A message flashed on the screen. You're on time. Welcome back. Panic rose. The bus lurched forward, but there were no wheels on the road, only fog beneath, shifting like water. The children on the bus didn't move, didn't blink, but their heads slowly turned toward her, hollow eyes full of longing. She realized then that the bus wasn't moving through the town, it was moving through time, through death. The driver's hand lifted slowly, pointing toward the back of the bus. Emma stepped backward, but the door slammed shut with a sound that made her stomach lurch. The shadows whispered, voices layered and overlapping, each echoing a name she recognized. Liam, Sophie, Kevin, the kids who had received the messages. The whispers grew louder. Stay, stay, stay. Her mind screamed to run, but the bus seemed to expand, stretching impossibly long, rows of seats fading into darkness. Then she saw them, faces pressed against the windows from the outside, faded, pale, screaming silently. The victims of the crash. They were trapped, unable to move on. The bus had become a liminal space, a bridge between life and death. Feeding on anyone summoned by the messages, Emma's heart raced. She could feel the pull, the desire to join them, to escape the fear by stepping into the void. But a memory hit her, a news clipping she'd read in the archive. The last words of the driver, scribbled on a police report. Don't let them board. Don't let them ride. She realized the whispers weren't just inviting her, they were trying to keep her. They wanted new passengers. She dropped to the floor, crawling toward the back door. The shadows shrieked, reaching out, hands cold as ice, brushing against her skin. Her fingers found the latch, and she wrenched the door open. Fog rushed in, and the world outside seemed to breathe. She threw herself through the door, tumbling into wet grass. The bus screeched behind her, but it didn't follow. The headlights faded into the mist, as if swallowed by the night. Emma lay there, trembling, listening. The whispers had vanished, replaced by silence. Only the wind moved through the trees, carrying with it the faintest echo of laughter from children who had never really left. When she got home, her parents were frantic. Calls to the police made, but no one believed her. The other kids who had received messages reported the same thing: they had fled, had barely escaped. All of them swore the bus hadn't wanted to hurt them. It wanted to take them, and just before dawn, her phone buzzed one last time. A new message. "See you next time." Emma deleted it, throwing the phone across the room. But in the pit of her stomach, she knew the bus would return. The past never truly dies in this town, and the midnight school bus waits for anyone who forgets its story. Some things are never meant to answer back. Asterisk for more stories that dig up the darkness others try to keep buried. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Be careful what legends you go looking for. You might just become one. You might just become one.